and going to be talking about how POD transformed my career and life. As cheesy as that sounds, I'm not sponsored by POD, but this is going to be about like my personal journey through this grad school experience. So to start off, wanted to talk a little bit about who I was before POD. So I was part of class of 2019, so began in 2017. And before that, I was working in various jobs in museums, in urban planning, in sustainability research. And I was really just trying to figure out what I wanted to do, what I was interested in. And I was lucky enough during that time to find graphic design, got a graphic design certificate, but really just kind of didn't think my work was very good. I thought everything that I was doing wasn't the standard I want, a common feeling for a lot of designers. But I knew I loved design and I wanted to get better. So I enrolled in the Products of Design program to expand my design horizons, which I did. So I think it's also important to understand within this transformation who I was before POD. So I was a work in progress designer. I had just fallen in love with design and really thought it had so much potential, but I really wasn't sure like what the direction within design would be. And most importantly, I had a crippling fear of public speaking. So year one was super exciting and really incredible. You just learn so much, especially for people coming from different backgrounds. So I learned how to make 3D products, how to use tools and different machinery, how to sketch my ideas. I learned how to photograph and document my projects as well. And I think most important, I learned how to work in teams, figure out what my strengths were as a designer and how I could bring those strengths to a design team. So maybe my favorite, I created a plush ice cream nightlight, which you can see here in my Instagram post. I captioned as by far the best thing I've ever made, which I think now is probably not true, but I think at the time it probably was the best thing I ever made, but I had a lot more to go. So within the first year, you do so many different projects, and just so many, I can't even fit them on a screen, but I essentially got to refine my ice cream nightlight and then even make a short video about the ice cream nightlight product at the bottom, which was one of my favorite projects. And then also was able to intern as a design strategist at the Johnson & Johnson Design Studio in between the 2 years. So then enter year two, my thesis turning point. I decided that I wanted to redesign sexual assault evidence kits. So you can see the current kit here. And at this point, I was really thinking like, this might be a really intense topic. Do I really want to do this? Should I be doing this? And I finally decided, you know what, this is a great opportunity in grad school to take risks and to design for things that I might not otherwise have the opportunity to design for. So in reality, this was a great decision and maybe one of the best I've made so far. So then within year two, you do a lot of thesis work, as Alan was showing, but really started to learn so much more beyond just what I was doing around the thesis topic. So I was really starting to build my confidence as a designer, understand how to take lead in my design directions, how to run sessions, how to interview people, how to talk to users, and was also really improving my design craft, how to better prototype both physical and digital products. And on top of that, was even able to build a rape kit exhibition in Union Square, which was one of the most challenging projects I ever did. Having to build anything that big is just very difficult for someone without too much experience in it. So it was super rewarding. And then also learning how to create a strategy and really engage the public, especially on a really complex topic, was just such an incredible learning experience. And essentially in the end, my thesis resulted in 6 different designs that were somewhat related, including an app, a service, an experience, a 3D kit. And I really had never worked so hard in my life as I did on the thesis. And it was so incredibly rewarding because it began to realize that the topic I was working on and all of these different designs had so much potential, and really ended up leading to a lot of recognition that I could have never even imagined. So before I get into some of the amazing opportunities that my thesis brought me, I just want to remind everyone of my crippling fear of public speaking before I joined POD. So luckily, giving crits basically every day, having to talk to people, having to lead design teams, quickly pushed that fear aside. And I was, of course, the first opportunity that I was given to speak about my thesis work was a speaking situation. So that was very exciting. So I started out by being able to talk about my thesis at the New York Design Week, was even able to win an ICFF Design Award. Spoke at the Antenna Conference for Dutch Design Week in the Netherlands, was part of the Global Grad Show in Dubai for Dubai Design Week. Spoke at the Design Indaba Conference in South Africa. Won a pitch competition in San Francisco. Won a Fast Company's World Changing Ideas Award. And then was super lucky to be nominated for various prizes like the David Prize. So as you can see, I never could have imagined that any of this would have come out of my thesis work, but it really is such a unique opportunity to really take a topic that you find really interesting or really complex and really just kind of see where it takes you. I even got some really fantastic press coverage and then even published my very first article in the extremely highly read American Bar Association SciTech Lawyer Magazine. So all in all, POD truly did transform my life and my career. It gave me this incredible opportunity to essentially travel the world to talk about some of the designs and research I'd done, and has really led me to these creative, fantastic design teams at Frog Design, Equinox Media, and currently I'm working full-time as a product designer at Envision. And then I'm also able to continue to work on my thesis. I founded a company called Margot Health, which is essentially a culmination of all of my thesis work. And basically, who am I today from all of this transformation? I'd say I'm still a work in progress designer, but I definitely know what I love. I know where I'm going. I now love public speaking. And what's most exciting is there are just so many more opportunities ahead that I just can't even imagine having before the program.